One love, Delta9 travelers. Welcome in. Welcome in to the International Digital Connection. Now, if you can hear me and you can hear me clearly, drop a 9 into the comment section for me so I know that I'm coming through and we have clear audio right now. Because guess what? Scapegoat, that's the conversation. That's the conversation that everyone is listening. It's viral right now. I don't know who in here yet or who hasn't been updated about what's going on with the MV Barima. But 3D crew members, 72 counts, right? And in accordance with what the AG was highlighting, we miss you, not gonna pass you, because you could get that charge, but the charge could be broken down because the court has that authority. So if 72 a discharge miss you, one of them other charge must catch you. We can get into the details because we're going to hear from the legal defense, Honorable Dr. Todd. We're going to hear from the AG. We're going to hear the two sides to this COI and why the. Listen, so much information for us to get into. So much information. And grand rising to everyone that's a part of the life. Let me jump into the comment section and make sure that I'm coming through clearly because guess what? I ain't seen no nines yet. It don't cost you nothing. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me make sure that the live is up. I see persons coming in, but I just want to make sure that we coming through clearly. I don't have the audio on check. Thanks for being a part of the presentation, Moses. Big up yourself, King. And thanks for dropping the nines in the section. Good. So the connection is sound. So here we go. Let's start getting into these details because it's important as you come into this live as well. Thumbs up the live because we're presenting the information in a neutral manner. Thumbs up the live because it's important that persons all over the globe understand what's going on in one of the wealthiest nations in the world, what's going on in our beautiful nation of Guyana. Let's jump into these details right now.
They charge him for murder. Absolute madness. You know, in my understanding of the law, a charge of murder needs an intention to kill or cause harm. And I firmly don't believe that any of the persons charged had an intention. So when an investigation is ongoing and recommendations need to be made to DPP, I would assume that the charge would have been a lesser one if maritime laws and MARAD, I don't know who governs this. More than likely it will be MARAD. There must be rules and regulations under the acts that govern maritime and MARAD that would state clearly that they can the people on the ship that control the ship, the captain, etc., can be charged with certain things. So it's not that tricky. It ain't supposed to be murder. And we as Guyanese people, I think the majority of Guyanese people understand that these people are being used as scapegoats. And to the ones that agree with the actions taken today, well, you have no conscience. This is ridiculous. And this is getting out of control. So I am not going to, I have no office or I have no authority to tell Guyanese what they should or should not do. But I'm of the firm belief that this has gone way too far. The actions of the government, the manner in which they go about their day-to-day operations, And who passed the word? Because it wasn't any independent body that was doing the investigations recommended to DPP. That I ain't gonna ever buy that. What the top pass the word to do something like this? It's getting out of control, guys. The leaders there in Guyana that sit on the opposite side of the house, they're the ones that have to advise the citizens on the way forward for Guyana and what Guyanese should do to put an end to this nonsense. I understand that people in Guyana are scared of victimization. I know that more than anything. When I was a PPP supporter, I never used to like or comment on anything that I saw that was negative about the government. And too many people tell me, Devin, I agree with you, but they can't.
Conversations on freedom of speech, right? Victimization and a lot that's going on the ground. Guess what? Persons are on the road right now. The protesting has begun because persons are saying enough is enough. And they've seen enough, heard enough, and they're going to make their voices heard because it seems like the government is not hearing exactly what they would like to address about what's going on with this situation with the MV Barima and the crew. There's a big protest right now on the ground, and we're about to get some of that live content to present right here on this presentation because the conversation is this: scapegoats. And no scapegoating, that's what persons are saying. This is what's going on the ground right now, Delta9 travelers, live and direct. Live protest on the ground. Live protest on the ground as the protest is beginning because of what's going on with these recent 72 counts on the crew.
Place. So you set him up to fail, and now you jail him so you can look like the hero when you are the reason for the disaster yourself. President Ali, it is heartbreaking. It is. I don't know the words to use to ask, to wonder why to this minute you haven't stepped in and acted. Is it that much corruption in your cabinet, in the different ministry, that you are afraid to fire one minister because of the dirt you have on the other? That's the only logical conclusion I can come to. 70-something dead, definitely murder charges should be laid exactly where they should be. These three gentlemen right here, people, are crew members of the MV Barima. We're not here to defend wrongdoing, and we're not here to protect anyone who should be charged. But we are going to go straight into and to make sure that these three gentlemen are not being used as scapegoats. Now, the ship that these guys operated, these 17 crew members operated, it's a ship that is owned by the government. I think we can agree on that. If this ship is owned by the government, managed by the government, controlled by the government, it means these gentlemen and the other 14 are employees of the government. Follow me here. I'm not an attorney. So if they're employees of the government, and the government is now charging them for murder, an attorney can come out and correct me here, but it then means the government is taking responsibility for their own failure. It's a very thin line. So don't rush to conclusion yet, because I know they're going to come try to separate the two. Unless, if these gentlemen right here, let's use example, were given specific instructions to take this ferry to Port Kaituma and back twice a month. The instruction was to carry only the amount of passengers that this ship is designed to carry. Now, we all heard conflicting stories from the same government. So let us assume that the real number is 150. And the captain and crew have agreed to take an additional 50 passengers. So pocket that money. Then they went outside of the scope of their own employment. So they then are responsible for overloading that ship and the safety of those passengers. Same for the cargo. If the ship is designed to carry, let's just use the number 1,000 kilos, or let's keep it in pounds, 2,000, whatever the number of weight is, and the captain then decided, I will carry additional cargo so I can pocket that money. That again is outside of the scope. Remember, we're not going to sit here and separate this ship and the crew from the government. They're all one. These employees, though, have a responsibility and a duty to carry out. But if, though, the government would have given these crew members, a faulty ship, a ship that they themselves would have published that the turbo needed to be updated or changed, that could have been changed right there at the port. That don't need dry docks. If this ship really was taken in water, which is why the captain recommended cement on the floor, whose fault is that? If this ship, the beam was rotten, whose fault is that? If this ship didn't have the proper navigational equipment, whose fault is that? Those are the faults of the state. But the captain still do have a responsibility. And that responsibility is to say no. Myself and crew would not be taking the ship to sea. The problem is in Guyana, though, because the poverty level is so high, and I want every Guyanese to pay attention to and follow this story carefully, because you too can be next. You find yourself in a hospital with a faulty machine, 100 people die. You realize now that doctor will be jailed. But when are you guys going to start saying no? Now the responsibility falls directly on the shoulder of the crew member. Were those crew members the ones to change the different parts of that ship that was bad? Were those crew members trained to take that ship to dry dock? What if the instructions, though? What if the instruction, I have gotten instruction from Transport and Harbor to take this extra cargo that the minister was just speaking about? Then we should have seen a photo with him somewhere in the back in handcuffs. But moreover, I'm still questioning the scope of this investigation, because if this ship has not been recovered yet, If there is a COI into exactly what transpired, why this ship actually went down, where did the negligence fall, then what's the purpose of the COI if the Guyana police forces would have conducted an investigation to point to criminal charges? Then why is the criminal charges only limited to the members that physically operated the ship and not the people who, one, were trying to interfere with this investigation, two, were trying to mislead the public? Why aren't the ministers who are responsible, why aren't the head of Merit who gave this default or scrap metal to take a seat, why weren't they charged? I'm gonna sit here, people, and stand in the defense of these captains, because we weren't there. If the evidence is there to charge these crew members, I don't want you to confuse what the article said yesterday when we asked to free the captain, because what we're asking for is an impartial, independent investigation, not one to satisfy the optics. Because if you go around this country today, you're going to see it is not only these 3 captain and crew member that is operating at high risk on a daily basis.
He said that people say man for the fucking table and then they don't their put themselves that this story world this country and in this story world that this story world this country.
Greetings, you're on to Delta9 Media Live.
Greetings, blessed Wednesday morning to you and all the viewers.
Grand Rising, what's going on?
Here, what's going on here, right? They have the protest, right? And they're saying a jail must go on and die, right?
Yeah.
Now you remove these 2 men and replace them, right? Is it gonna change anything?
If you remove the persons, if you remove the minister,
if you remove them, is it gonna make things better in that area?
In which area? In their ministries or in the system?
In the ministry and what the job title is.
I would think that it would have some type of impact on those that are part of the same industry, because they're gonna say if the top is getting disciplined, then we might want to conduct ourselves in accordance with the way that we should, right?
Bro, it's Guyana. Them ain't gonna look at that. Everybody is for themselves. That's what happened to the 2 of them. They're gonna say that's the 2 of them because they bring too much. Once these people
I'm saying if they get lashed, people are now watching. People are now watching.
So they're gonna put back 2 people just like that.
Okay.
Just to satisfy the people's mind.
One block out, another block in.
It's not gonna do because that's what needs to be done. It's gonna done because they need to fool the people.
Yeah, what you're saying.
The problem is not, I keep saying this, the problem is not a jail them that much. A jail them is just a small percentage of the problem. The problem is start from the vice president. Why I say him first? Because he is the leader for the PPP party. You understand? He's bigger than the president. So you got to remove every stigma, every person who's staying in the country. You need to remove the entire government. That's how you get changes. The changes, you when these people do certain things that move them from one department and put them in another one and put somebody else.
Okay.
So these people don't really get to nobody. Once these people are valuable to them of their pockets and make them make more money, they're gonna move them in a different area. They don't even care if they don't have any knowledge of that department. They're gonna put them there.
A dark reality, right? Well, guess what? We're the ones that are of age, and we're the ones, buddy. And we got children that coming of age, so they're the ones that's coming behind that got to make these things different. You see what I'm saying? Or else we're gonna be old age experiencing the same type of situations. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because these out here, they're supposed to say PPP must go. Not a jail. You're telling the government you need them out. When you calling out these one people, these are a fan of them, they don't comfortable and feeling everything is good with them. They say.
Mm-hmm.
Because these two men are the far guys.
Wow.
You see?
Yeah, because a big scapegoat situation going on and a lot of persons highlighting it.
Yeah, they got to call out the PPP, not these two guys. These two, all right. They've been messing up for a minute now.
Yeah.
And he's still there. Why? You can't feel resignation. He's still there. The person who I am have got authority to fire, which is Ali.
Yeah.
And Ali is not firing because he said it. You see? They said that they pick him to do a job. He's doing the job they pick him to do. And they're not going to fire him. And all these guys about the money. Like they said that what you name Mark Phillip is this and that. Yeah, you're this and that. But if you're so intelligent, why you slaying people making you a puppet? That means, like I said, you're not intelligent. You're smart when it comes to the book, but you're stupid when it comes to making your own life decisions and making people control you by your neck and by your ears. Because me, personally, me don't care about money. I tell our people who have money that I don't do work and walk off and left thousands of dollars on the table, bro. Thousands. You see?
Yeah.
You have to have some form of dignity.
Yeah, you got a principle about you.
Yeah.
It's a principle thing.
So when you have all these accolades and you still, and what is these things when you're not turning up to these things? So ideally.
Big up yourself, King. Like the powerful points that you're bringing right there. Sometimes you just gotta have some kind of principle about yourself. Well, guess what? There's so many sides to what's going on right here. Big up yourself, Al. Thanks for calling in and for dropping them insights. Early part of the live, we cruising. Listen, we got so many headlines, hours and hours and hours of updates. And listen, everything, we're bringing it down into a concise form so we could get as much content in this live presentation. So guess who we're going to go to right now? Because we just get a chance to hear from BPAC. It's only right that we hear from the Attorney General himself. Let's hear what the Attorney General has to say on these details as it relates to the crew, the COI, and everything else that's going on right now. Let's jump into these details. We can jump back on the street and see what's going on with the protest as the crowd builds, because we know they got a couple things planned. Don't forget, today is the results that's going to be coming out from the Caribbean Court of Justice as it relates to the opposition leader and his extradition trial. Watch out for them updates. We're going to be live as well, making sure that we stay updated with everything what's going on. We can hear what the Attorney General got to say right now about this.
Public policy considerations, and she was guided by those principles. And she recommended the charges of murder. The charge of murder. The very persons, the very politicians who are bawling for justice, for strong actions to be taken, are the very ones who are now objecting and criticizing the institution of discharge. A mishap of disproportion has occurred. And you're not going to charge the captain of the boat who has command and legal control of the vessel. You're not going to charge the first mate who is essentially the deputy. You're not going to charge a person who's responsible for the management of the boat, the cargo, the passenger manifest. These are what you call principal offenders. When a minibus or a motor car is driving on the road and the driver hits down somebody, they get charged normally, once the evidence is there, for causing death by dangerous driving. That's the highest charge possible. A boat captain, and the information is in the public domain. A boat captain was found under the influence of alcohol and narcotic. The first mate was also found under that influence. The public information is that they were not even at the wheel. Nearly 100 persons have died. This is not a person getting knocked down on the road. 100 persons have died. From all the public accounts, no persons were not wearing life jackets. Who was responsible for that? For ensuring that that was done? And I don't want to go more and more into the DPP reviewed all those.
There were persons that used to work with the boating facility that was hired by the government, that was responsible for making sure that persons were following safety protocols. Like Honorable David Patterson is going to highlight for us further in this live. Make sure you stay tuned. Let's jump into this.
Would have had a statement from different persons. I see persons, first of all, look at who coming out. That's the first point I want to make. Who are coming out to support, and who they are supporting. On the one hand, you have the opposition crying out, for allegedly crying out and making out a case that they want justice. And when the charges have been instituted, they are the ones defending those who are under any circumstances would be considered the primary responsible parties, or the principals in the first degree, or the principal offenders. Whether it is a
scapegoats. But before we get to that the perception of most right-thinking Guyanese is that these men are now scapegoats. But before we get to that the perception is that they are scapegoats, I want all of our listeners, Dr. Todd, to listen to this gentleman. One of the, I think he's the captain.
Everybody was all vessel going, we don't want his 8 and 7 years old, that vessel. The vessel of a life is to the vessel. I'm not walking. The vessel ran out of door, I'm a real house. The vessel of a stuff, the vessel tries to find us. The vessel of a deep water. God, look at those lights out there, those lights out there, fighting 2020.
Dr. Todd, lots and lots of revelations there.
Yes.
And it's horrifying. It's sad to listen to what he's saying. All of the deficiencies of that vessel.
Yes.
Every single thing expired, whatever. But before we get to that, let's talk about the institution of 79 or so murder charges.
72.
72. Okay, so you were there initially representing these men. But what's the mood? What are the mood? How are they feeling before we get into the charges?
Mark, these men are broken. They have been traumatized. They are terrified, and they are. I sense as I spoke with them today they are so depressed. I am worried, and I do plan to speak to the authority welfare office in the prison, because they will need a lot of counseling. It has been a very horrifying experience, and they are suffering just like any other family and any other of the survivors. They are survivors too of that horrific tragedy. But I find that they have been placed in a situation where the only thing that can help them now is continued prayers as we join with them in getting them through this process. Because I'm telling you, it's only you. You saw how the captain was just weeping, and it's like, I tried as much as possible today to restore some form of hope, that, you know, this is a process and we will fight this process. But I commit the prayers and support of all right-thinking human beings, because it's a very, very sad situation. Very, very unfortunate.
Let's touch, sad situation indeed, Dr. Todd. But let's touch on the fact that the perception, and if you look at a lot of the comments there, all over Facebook as well, the majority of Guyanese, now they're not saying that questions should not be asked, and people should, of course, people should be held accountable. But there's a difference in holding people accountable and making them scapegoats. Yes. And so the perception by many Guyanese is that these three guys are scapegoats.
That
Do
is
you
true.
hold that view that they're being held?
I hold that view. Right? That is the attempt of this government to shift blame and to make these three men the scapegoats from the real responsibility and accountability. But Guyanese all over will not have it. The government, they must take responsibility for this. Must take responsibility for this. And they cannot. We will not have it. We will not allow them to throw this blame on these men
who determine later on whether she's right or wrong. But one cannot say that it is not a reasonable exercise of that power. Not in this circumstance. But let me go back to who? The usual suspect. Who are questioning it? And this is historical. When you had the police force going after criminals and known criminals and suspected criminals.
The mate, yeah. The mate. That they want to make them the scapegoat.
Side of the criminals and those alleged to be implicated in criminal activities.
Y'all hearing that? It's crazy and it's good. You see why I play these things is so we could analyze the thought patterns and, you know, just the way the person see certain ethnicities and certain persons in society, right? So the PNC is always on the side of the criminals and those that are executing criminalities. But here how this is going to be explained. It's important that we analyze this thing. Greetings, you're on to Delta9 Media Live.
This man is on the screen, right?
Yeah.
Just kill me. He just comparing country with different rules. I have rules like here, but convinced, applying it to the wrongdoing. This country is corrupt. This captain, he got to take a blame on what went down. I ain't saying nay. I ain't giving you no pass. I've been saying that. He ate out of his own mouth. You know what now with it. That's right. You, as the captain for so long, gonna take the risk, bro. They have to fire me, bro. They have to fire me. So he put himself, all of them put themselves in a situation that they can't get themselves out of.
Yeah. Listen, you know there's what? 72 counts. Even if you beat 71 and one stick, even if you beat 71 and one get a lesser, you still cook.
But we could don't see these man is getting thrown under the train, right in the court, the train line.
Yeah.
Because this thing happened Saturday night into Sunday. And these man done investigate and put all these 72 counts on them.
72.
When does this, the boat is still down in the river. Let this make sense. The boat is still down in the river. The boat never brought up to any investigation on the vessel to see what went wrong, what was the cause. How these guys get charged with all these things? It makes sense, bro. The Attorney General supposed to be a neutral, but he's done them, and he don't speak against them on the wrongdoing. He come with all these big fancy words, he sit down and study overnight from the big. We know what it means, but how much Guyanese know what these words mean?
I mean, it's good if you come in.
That has called themselves done skull.
It's good if he come in and it's good if he come in and articulating himself in a particular manner. Ain't none with that. But the thing is, we come in and say. The thing is, we come in and say, we come in and speak on.
That's what the thing. I am saying.
You know what I mean?
People like you said yesterday, people in Guyana might not get it, but we out of Guyana get it. So when I left Guyana, my brain expands so big up. Bro, the things I come here and learn and sit down and media and know, put focus on media. I never do know that in Guyana. I talk to people my age in Guyana when I go home, and some of them can't even comprehend what I'm telling them about the country they live in it. They still behind. Young ones who still behind. Up to the other day, I'm telling a friend of mine, I tell, girl, oh, she mean get time with them, this is the, I say, you live there, you have to pay attention, so when these people, you might not have a political...
That's why I was reasoning. That's why I was reasoning people about that same thing there, because this is the conversation through the ghetto, you know. In the ghetto, on the streets. The way I think sometimes I come on and I articulate myself in a particular manner, because as one person to see that people that come out to the ghetto, a ghetto you just like you, understand certain things and it's uncertain focus, because it's important. They sell you certain dream, you know. They tell you don't pay attention to that. Remember now, they tell you don't pay attention to it, but when you want a contract to take care of your family or to do something, it's not the same politicians got the power. It's not the same political system going to oppress your community and keep your children them in some downtrodden schools, keeping them in poverty situations so that they're going to grow up not feeling less than themselves. It's important. It's very important. Very, very important.
Attention to these people, so you could. I get cousin coming. But you don't follow politics when you sit down at some start, make certain change and this and that, and you get dropped from your job and this. I said, this is why I tell you, so you got to know how to prepare yourself, because you listen to them. You ain't got to vote for them. You just got to listen and pay attention. So, and this morning, the captain, all the old PPP government needs to go. The captain got to pay some due on this. But he shouldn't, the book shouldn't throw at him like that. You have some responsibility to play in this disaster that
man give you 72 pages. That's crazy.
He have experience and he should have turned on the boat, the job just like the other three.
Big up yourself. Telling your insights coming in as we analyze what's going on right now.
Not on a single occasion in my recollection has the PNC ever taken a position on the side of the law enforcement agencies. Even now,
that they have been complaining the state of this vessel, but yet compelled and forced, literally and figuratively, to execute their duties. This is a survival, I think, many of the time, and they have said it in their own words, Mark, that many times they thought of just leaving the job, but they're thinking, what is it that they're going to? Look, when you look at Facebook, staff have started to speak out against about their experiences in working as a vessel, as whether it's a crew member or so forth. The decision to take that boat, we know by book that our responsibility is captain, but not in Guyana, not under the PPBC government. They are forced, they are instructed, they are compelled to use that boat. They knew that boat was not seaworthy, was unseaworthy. They knew that. They knew all the problems that boat has, but yet still, they knew the engine problem. What is the government's position with all that engine problem? If the engine failed you in the middle of the sea, listen.
I'm telling you, who is to blame, right? Persons are pointing fingers and persons is being used as scapegoats. What are your views, Delta9 travelers, as we analyze the poll question for the day? What's going on in the polls right now on this live? What are your views about some of the headlines that we would have highlighted so far? Plus, you take a couple of seconds yet and thumbs up the live. Thumbs up the live, buddy. You're supposed to thumbs up the live on your way in because something brought you to the channel. And the fact that we're here making sure that we keep everything neutral as possible. You just get a chance to hear from the AG. We're hearing now from the defense team for the MV Barima crew members, right? Uncle I Phil, Grand Rising.
Good morning, how are you?
Doing great. And I got some video content too for we update one another with right here too on some of that research. I'm gonna jump into it just now. Yeah, the underwater research with the robotics and them thing. Yeah, I went and I checked it out.
4,000 meters, 4,000 meters depth, and the robot can go in and see, and it's more dark than this 10 foot water what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Good. Now, coming back to this topic, it's a sad story with black people in Guyana.
Mm-hmm.
Because our savior, the only savior that was ever born between black people in Guyana, he died, Mr. Bonham. Now, during the time when Mr. Bonham was the president, these people, I don't know if Nandlall is born yet, but these people that committing so much of terrorist activity in Guyana, burning down them sugarcane, burning down schools and buildings, and nobody ever did them nothing.
Mm.
Now these people so intelligent and we black people so stupid that let's look at Mohammed's case. They put on his Walden a black person to the front line instead of putting an Indian person. Any danger zone
that has to be a policy.
When Adriana died, Barajajo was before. Mark Philip was not in the war at the time. I would say. I wouldn't say in the country. I would say he was not in the war because I never heard any word from him. Now, in the front line, the fire line, they're sending these poor black house slaves. It's a heart-rending story to me. I'm suffering to see
and it's an image,
how these black...
It's an image that they keep portraying of us. Yeah.
Yeah, any day they don't show you the black person in front.
Yeah.
Every time I study this girl on his wall, John, I said, look, this little fool. She should have refused that post. just because they didn't want to put a Kuliman in front to go to Mohammed. They put Shield. I analyzing them people's attitude from home. They show criminal attitude these people have. They haven't got nothing good in their brain when it comes to black people.
And that's why it's good to get the insights coming in from the elders so we could analyze it, because some of us weren't even around in them times to really got a scope to look back and say, but what's been going on all these years, you know?
Yeah, a lot of people don't know. You hear? And any black person, their hope now of getting, his safety, I want to tell them that they hope don't disappear since Bonham died. Because since he died, all the next black people politicians, even up to now, they have no intelligence at all. Now, every phone can look at the whole thing what Traore is doing in Burkina. They smoke compared to what Bonham was doing in the Caribbean. You will hear about CARICOM. You will hear about CARIFESTA.
Yeah.
You will hear about Caribbean Development Bank analysis. All these things they will put credit to Bonham for it.
Yeah.
Because when the white people refused to buy our sugar and our bauxite and this kind of thing, Bonham decided that we go make we come we thing in the Caribbean. You saw come all these things come about. The amount of endless industries that this man created without money in Guyana. But no honest person, honest Indian person, they must have more than 70 years to talk about that.
Yeah.
Right? I'm 68 now, and I was just about 15 years when Bonham did start. So, it's a sad story, but I don't know. They should at least give these people a manslaughter charge and let them get bail.
Well, you see,
the
thing is, I feel as a lineup, they get lined up, because if they chose 72 counts on you, then if 71 miss you, and you get a lesson the last one, then you still get something, so they're making sure that something sticks. You understand?
No, but in law, and the land knows that.
Yeah.
The ZPP knows that. To charge a man for murder, you must have malice.
An intent, yeah.
This is number one. A malice and intent. This is number one. So where was the malice and intent in this? None. You understand me? I am not a liar, but I know as a police, I know a certain amount of things where you can do what you can't do.
Exactly.
They had a right to give these people a manslaughter charge and let them go on bail. But the DPP is a complete fool. Nandlall is the biggest jackass I ever seen in the world. He does only try to use big words to impress fools like himself. But the more the man talks, the more they get upset. He and Marat, I tell you, they feel like vomiting when these donkey themselves open them up. So, Delta, have a nice day, then you can listen.
Big up yourself, Uncle Life. Thanks for calling in and for sharing that wisdom with us. Right here on Delta9 Media, Wisdom Wednesdays. Big up yourself to all the elders, all the frequent travelers, everybody tuned in to this international digital connection as we continue to highlight what's going on with this MV Barima situation. Let me see what the poll is saying. The polls is saying, are the MV Barima crew members being used as political scapegoats? 85%. That's a high number. 85% is saying yes, and 15% is saying no. What do you say, Delta9 Media family? Guess what? Drop it into the comment section. Be a part of the poll that we have right now up on the live. Let your vote count right here as we analyze more of what the details of who's responsible, who's the person that made the call, and who is the person in authority for sending out this boat. Who was behind it? Who's the shot callers? We're going to hear from a person that used to be in that position, and they know good what's going on.
A policy.
And
that
they
has to be a
them.
Policy decision.
And they frightened to expose the details. We're going to hear right now from Honorable Mr. Patterson as he highlights these details for us right now. Who's the person that make the call?
Had to be the agile and the ministers
Okay.
policy decision, because somebody has to override what's on the paper. If the board's not over seaworthy, somebody will have to go to agile and Indar. Don't forget Indar.
Right, because he's in charge of Mara.
Yeah, in charge of maritime, but he was also the junior minister in public works as well.
Right.
So the protesters was on point. Persons was on point when they were calling for certain people to go.
So up to 2025, and he's now, so they split it now. Somebody would have to go to them and say, listen to me, this boat can't sail based on our certification. And they would have to override that decision. But you made mention of some good some points. The general manager is in charge of transport and harbor. Not a single word.
Why isn't she charged at least negligence?
No. Even for charging her negligence, why hasn't she made a statement? Why hasn't she got up and say, even for or against, she has absolutely no
or
words.
Or even an expression of sympathy to this guy.
Even an expression of sympathy on behalf of Transport and Harbor. But also you have the marine supervisor. The marine supervisor is in charge of all the maritime sectors, and then you have the chief engineer, who's in charge of the engine and the technical parts of the boat. They're still on the job. So if one of these three, and they're the top three in transport and harbor, if one of these three are culpable in overriding any safety regulation, they have an opportunity to fiddle the books now. And, right. and that is something which I fear will happen. And that's why we've been calling for these persons to be removed, sent on leave at bare minimum, you know what I mean? That's what's going to happen. I mean, when they ask for the marine logs, right? And every time you leave, let me let your viewers know, everybody. So every time you depart shore, just like you hear in the movies, that's how you have to file a flight plan.
Right.
The captain has to file a route plan. And he does this, right. He does this to the lighthouse, which is the nerve center of the aviation sector. So he sends a message saying, "Listen to me. I'm leaving now. 3 o'clock. I anticipate that I would be in Port Kaituma at 4 o'clock. I'm going by X, Y, and Z, and you are supposed to report. It is a requirement that you report when you pass certain landmarks." Right.
So we heard in one of the videos, we heard on the radio it's saying Lighthouse Barima. I'm not sure if you heard that in one of the videos.
Yes. So there's a beacon out there. I can't remember the name of the beacon. So you clock in when you pass that beacon or these established landmarks. And the reason you do that, as the vessel sinks, but you weren't able to give a
emergency signal or something. They know.
So they can calculate if you're traveling at 4 knots, you pass this landmark, and they can calculate roughly, well, you're going to be in this.
Exactly.
And that is a simple. Airlines do it. Maritime sector do it. It's very, very simple. I mean, of course, you see it more on movies on the airlines, but that's the exact same. You are supposed to radio in. You're supposed to make a flight plan. You're supposed to as you get on the way, you're supposed to say, "Listen to me, I'm now traveling," when you get up to full speed. "I'm now traveling at 12 knots," and so forth. There's several checks and balances that has not been followed in this case here. So, but when you lock up the captain, right?
I understand, I grieve, I empathize with every single person that lost their life. They lost their life or went through this tragedy and trauma. Honestly, you know, I mean, I was in like a shell shock. Like I tell people, I know people who died. One of the guys that died, I actually asked for him like a couple weeks ago. Me, my friend talking, who's also a sailor, who's also an engineer, who sailed on the Barima. He and I were talking. Because he took us, I think he's on the corner walk now or something like that. So we went to Region 2. So he and I talking back and forth. We still message. I say, yo, how is Paul? So I know people who died on that vessel. I know the captain of that vessel.
So the thing is, are you going to do anything to make sure that everyone that played a part in what went down there is held accountable? That's the thing. You know, a lot of persons that are a part of this tragedy, and you are a person in a position of authority, but what is the impact that you are going to bring to this? Are you going to make sure that you play your part and stand up for what's right in this situation? We will be highlighting the updates and the details, but for now, who is in the chat with us right now? Paulette, thanks for being a part of the live. Greetings, you're on to Delta9 Media Live.
He done joke out himself. He done joke out himself, bro. You know, this is what I said. Don't do what you got to do first last. You come thinking you need a Californian for sing the song and all this trouble. And all them things about farm and this. Then when it comes on this thing, you come joke out yourself. All them is a bunch of clowns. You see, they take people for food. Now you come like you sympathize them, but you know people die on the boat. What he could do, he can do not mean that strength. All his strength has the mouthpiece for whatever they tell you to say. They ain't got no other power to make other form decision. They have to stand up towards the people them that above them.
You gotta got some amount of sway that persons would give you certain opportunities to be on their team. You understand, man? You're not gonna pick a player. Yeah, listen.
The opportunity James Van get on the team is to persuade black people below him.
So then that's the thing we're there for.
Yeah,
right?
bro.
Good.
He ain't got no other strength. He can't go and tell Jack Dior Ali nothing. The attorney general anything. He could go, but he could try. But they will shut him down right away. Bigger than he can even speak. See? All he got to do, he just got to rope in more young black folk to the party. That's his strength.
Well, at least we're able to identify it. At least we could identify. At least we could identify what's going on, so persons could see, what's the attributes and what is celebrating to bring you as a part of the team.
He's not like me and you. I hear this name.
Big up yourself, King. Thanks for being a part of the live presentation. Yeah, well, you don't know. Every person got a part to play. But are you going to allow them to play with you? Can't let people recruit you and put you in positions to be on the situations of oppression. Right, Paulette? Thanks for being a part of the live. Thanks for being a moderator right here on Delta9 Media as well, too. Big up yourself. Marcia. The person to be blamed is Ejil and Indar. Put them in jail too. I'm telling you, that's what persons are saying right now. PA. Big up yourself, PA. Who have the video evidence of the PPP Minister Ejil, boss of the captain and the crew, ordering Barima back into public service engineering? I'm telling you. That's a powerful point, P. And you know what else, though? Yesterday you made you highlighted something, and I went and I checked it out. I said, look, I gotta make sure that I bring this piece of content so that we could be up to speed with what it was highlighting. It was highlighting the information on Archimedes' principle, right, of buoyancy. And I said, let me go check this out. And here we have it. I'm going to put it into the record. Big up yourself, PA. And it's because you highlight this, right? That's why I'm going to share it with persons today so we could get these insights and start to understand even more about what's going on with the MV Barima. So insightful moderation on a whole different level. You see how insightful moderation has even helped to structure the future lives. You see what I'm saying? Big up to all the moderators. Big up to all the frequent travelers. Everybody that's a part of this live presentation. You make this live what it is. Now, let's get into Archimedes' principle of buoyancy. Insights that was sent via commentary in the live chat by P. Alicott.
A small block of steel sinks straight to the bottom. So how does a massive ship made of thousands of tons of steel float? Because the ship is hollow, it pushes aside a massive amount of water. The upward buoyant force from that displaced water balances the ship's weight. This exact same principle of buoyancy helps submarines navigate, life jackets save lives, and even hot air balloons touch the sky. A small block of steel sinks.
Archimedes' principle of buoyancy. Big up yourself, PA. Let me hear some more from 007 before we jump into other parts of this headline.
All right. So this is not a fake thing. But a lot of these opposition people is fake for attention. And I'm going to call them out today because I saw them yesterday. They're fake as they come. Fake as they come. All their intention is, all they want to do is get likes, clout. I tell people, this is how I post anytime, anything. If one like, no like, don't matter to me. If you want to see my life, you see why James Bond is so happy and content with life. Me not forget likes, me not forget nobody loving me. I get enough for that. No, I get enough for that. Me got to fake this. And a lot of people faking, politicians faking. But they want to make this about us versus them. Influencers, oh, they're the worst. They're faking this thing more than anything else. Because they know, and I want to say this, not to sound insensitive. I stand with Minister Edgel. 100%. I stand with Minister Indar 100%. I stand with them. Because I know Guyanese have a culture in some quarters of hustling. Hustling. So Minister Edgel and Minister Indar is not loading our vessel. They're not the ones loading our vessel. They don't go down there and say, oh, this is that. You have people there who's supposed to do a particular job, who's supposed to be responsible. And if when you see when this thing is over, when this commission of inquiry is over, it's gonna shock some of you. Y'all the same rage y'all got towards the government. Y'all should apologize to Minister Edgel and Minister.
And to detract and to sidetrack and to persuade persons that their narrative is the one to accept. I have never heard in all my years, and I have been faced with law enforcement for 20-something years. As a policeman and now as a lawyer, all these years. So I've been in court for 20-something years, and I have never heard a charge like the one I heard this morning read in the court.
What was read?
That these men,
ambush in the night.
These men caused the death of 72. The names were read out. And many unknown. And many unknown.
You charged with murder for people unknown.
Oh my gosh.
Ambush in the night, bro.
At the charge.
Ambush in the night planned by society. How could you be charged for people unknown? And you get it even so they got an unknown amount of counts of murder charge on the head. Unknown. So they could bring up and say, let's find another person added to the count. Or we find two more partial remains. This might be one or two persons. Add two persons to them, to the charges. That's how crazy it is. And these is the things that got to come to a close if Guyana is to move forward in a real way. Check all the nations around the world, right? As a stand that is make things like this, ease down and make certain policies go in place for betterment. Let me hear some more.
And she read it, and she had to, her facial expression was indicating clearly that I can't believe what I'm reading, but for the sake of it, I'm going to read it. So she read the charge. Now, the prosecutor, who they gave a special fiat to prosecute this matter.
Who's that?
The police legal advisor, Mandel Moore.
Mandel Moore, yeah.
Now, he comes to court and he reads out a 7 to 8 paragraph of statement. Now, in that statement, you have that they're saying that these men would have overloaded the boat. One, you had the minister coming out to say that the boat was not overloaded. You had him coming back to say it sometime after that it was overloaded and he got wrong information. But where is he getting the information from? And if the boat was overloaded, the boat was overloaded by what amount? So I have said there are 3 stages of this investigation. There's the mechanics of this, which you have to actually have the physical evidence to establish this case. Then there's the environmental analysis, which you have to be able to talk about the speed, the temperature. You have to talk about tide, the level of the tide. You have to talk about the current. You have to talk about a number of things which would have caused the boat to do that, all fitting under the environment. Then you have the human factor. They have focused this investigation on the human factor part, where they might have had 1 or 2 witnesses to say that the boat was overloaded. Listen, there is no dispute that in relation to the boat carrying more than it should, but that's not on the part of the men who are charged. The men who are charged are supporting many of the other witnesses who talked about the ministry's heavy-duty material objects which went on that boat. Nobody's talking. There was
the captain. So they're going to say the captain is responsible for the ship. The captain is, I think, on the ship. The captain has police powers, right? Now, for the want of a better term. Now, I spoke to 2 captains today, and they're saying that if you refuse to, if as a captain, you invoke your powers and you refuse to accept overload by the ministry, this government fires you.
Well, that's not only you have people who are currently in the system who spoke out about the operations of this government and what they do as in the capacity as a captain. If you refuse, what is your fate? These people are working under tremendous pressure.
You know, Dexter and Rickford, you know what I mean? I've heard
this for strong actions to be taken are the very ones who are now objecting and criticizing the institution of discharge. A mishap of this proportion has occurred. And you're not going to charge the captain of the boat.
Paulette is saying You're only making yourself a fool, 007, trying to defend this bishop. I telling you, you're on a foolish mission, trying to defend the bishop. Bishop is a crazy scenario going on right now. And we're trying to analyze it from as many aspects as possible because there's a lot of gaslighting going on. There's a lot of things being highlighted that if you don't pay attention to the details coming in from the victims and the actual things that's going on in this case, you could be misguided. Let me hear what the Attorney General is highlighting right here.
Who has command and legal control of the vessel? You're not going to charge the first mate, who is essentially the deputy. You're not going to charge a person who's responsible for the management of the boat, the cargo, the passenger manifest. These are what you call principal offenders. When a minibus or a motor car is driving on the road and the driver hits down somebody, they get charged normally, once the evidence is there, for causing death by dangerous driving. That's the highest charge possible.
See what I'm saying? This is the highest charge. You just slap the highest charge on them and then let the courts break it down. So while they're running through the courts and the charges is breaking down, all of them now is going to take away from the attention and going to be all kind of different headlines on this, headlines on the, oh, this charge come down, the charge, 65 charges of counts of murder remain and another 12 was just reverted down to manslaughter. It's that all kind of things you're going to see. It's going to be a show. It's going to be a show. Right? Let me hear, because it's good to listen so you could analyze it. Let me hear what's going to be the plot.
A boat captain, and the information is in the public domain. A boat captain was found under the influence of alcohol and narcotic. The first mate was also found under that influence. The public information is that they were not even at the wheel. Nearly 100 persons have died. This is not a person getting knocked down on the road. 100 persons have died. From all the public accounts, no persons were not wearing life jackets. Who was responsible for that? For ensuring that that was done? And I don't want to go more and more into the DPP reviewed all those, would have had statements from different persons. I see persons, first of all, look at who coming out. That's the first point I want to make. Who are coming out to support, and who they are supporting. On the one hand, you have the opposition crying out, for allegedly crying out and making out a case that they want justice. And when the charges have been instituted, they are the ones defending those who are under any circumstances would be considered the primary responsible party.
Now going back to the statutes and say the captain is responsible for load and those things. And persons don't try to overcomplicate this. A pilot in charge of a plane, he gets a load manifest. He gets a, you know what I mean, he depends, the pilot doesn't go and weigh every piece of cargo. The captain doesn't go and weigh every piece of cargo. Somebody, and everybody has their role. So therefore, he now looks at what you give him and says, all right, he may want, and says, yes, everything is okay. He doesn't have, I mean, we'll be ground to a halt if the captain now has to personally go and weigh, you put in a bag of shell out, he has to go and personally weigh it out. The bag of shell is 1 pound. He depends on the information fed to him by the staff. If they do cowboy work, Dexter, he doesn't know. I mean, he may look at it and he says, all right, great, there's supposed to be 10 bags of shallot. He's not going to sit down there and physically be counting these things.
Right. And
It's a whole system.
They call him 10.
Yes.
So we hearing how this thing does go, right? Big up yourself, P, and thanks for dropping some more insights on our committee's principles into the chat so persons could understand, right? He said, Delta, when the Barima is put on dry dock and it's discovered that concrete was used to plug holes. You read again. Concrete was used to plug holes on the Barima, right? In the hull of the Barima, a committee's principle will be employed by the lawyer Dexter Todd. Of course, because Dexter's not no fool and he understands, right? That if you altering the weight in that manner, then you're going to affect the buoyancy. Big up yourself, PA, and thanks for dropping those insights. Very insightful moderation in the chat. Big up to all the moderators live with us right now. All the moderators that will catch this one in the rewind. Big up yourself, same way. Thanks to all the travelers in this live presentation. As we analyze what's going on, we're hearing from right now Honorable Mr. Patterson, the defense, Dr. Todd, and Mr. Burke giving us some insights on what's going on with the MV Barima crew members. 3 crew members now. 3 crew members, 72 counts, right? And the Attorney General highlighted certain details on it. We're hearing from the defense team now, giving us some insights. What's going on with the poll on the channel? Let me pull that information up so we could see what the votes are so far. Are the MV Barima crew members being used as political scapegoats? 85% is saying yes, 15% is saying no. What do you say? Definitely be a part of the poll that's up on the channel right now if you haven't already participated before we put up the second poll question, and you would have missed the opportunity to do so, right? 13 priceless ones is saying Guyana is a place where no one don't like taking accountability. Well, guess what? That right there is the blueprint for a dangerous, dangerous society, because there got to be some amount of accountability. Got to be. Morel, thanks for dropping that yes, but you gotta actually participate in the poll. If you drop it in the comment, well, we know that you say yes, but you see a person just dropping a no, so now you might want to go and drop in your yes to kind of the percentage of those that say yes, because persons are still participating in the poll, Morel. So you drop it in the comment, you didn't drop it on the poll question, that is. Floyd, thanks for being a part of the live. Greetings, Delta9 family. Big up. One and all, my condolences extended to all the family and relatives and friends that lost their loved ones, right? Sleep in peace. So many persons right now, hundreds of families around Guyana going through it. And we're going to highlight some of those details right here on this live presentation as we get some more details coming in from the legal team. It's important that we understand
the whole system that checks and balances that you have to depend on. You have to depend on it's interlinked. You have to depend that the man that doing the manifest is honest, that the man is on the scale is honest, and those things like that. And therefore, when you present to him your load sheet, and he knows that this vessel could only take 100 tons, and he looks at it, and you have given him and because the supervisor signs this load sheet, somebody signs this load sheet and sends it up to him, and he can say, all right, great, it's 98 tons, right? He depends on his first mate or his one of the mates to position it because they're experienced. So they will come and say, listen to me, this excavator, put on the left of the boat or put in the center of the boat because and so forth, right? So this idea that the captain is, in theory, he is, but he depends on the information he gets.
Right.
So to now throw him under the bus to say he should
Well,
have known you
they want
overload.
to scapegoat as Dexter said.
Yes.
They want to scapegoat. Dexter, let me.
But I wanted to ask Dexter a
Right.
question in relation to the good superintendent. Did they say that he's charged for murder because the boat was overloaded, or they said that some other reason?
The same thing, same facts.
That the boat was overloaded. No, I love this though. I don't mean sorry. I can't wait.
The mate, yeah.
The mate. That they want to make them the scapegoats and to detract and to sidetrack and to persuade persons that their narrative is the one to accept. I have never heard in all my years, and I've been faced with law enforcement for 20-something years, as a policeman and now as a lawyer, all these years. So I've been in court for 20-something years, and I have never heard a charge like the one I heard this morning.
Because I got a workshop here. They usually call me to do some maintenance, especially on certain things. I one day I went into the engine room.
Barima?
Yeah, Barima.
Okay.
And to my surprise, most of the iron, the pipes rotten. We can't even we can't wear nothing.
This is the engine room.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
We got this already. I'm waiting to hear what
a lot of rotten pipes.
No,
you know what they have to do? They have to take cement and cork the whole thing. Yeah. They have to take cement. That boat was not seaworthy. That boat wasn't seaworthy. Because you got to travel such a long distance to come to Kaituma.
The longest journey.
The longest journey. And you need to say a boat like that. They can't replace a boat like that. No. That's not good at all. That's not good at all.
The longest journey.
Yeah.
In the
Caribbean,
from St. Vincent, St. Martin, St. Lucia, you look at the boat and the travel
I think the government is supposed to get something better for the people at Kaituma.
We got better things. Only after this morning when I leave in Georgetown, I saw the vessel, your vessel, the Region 1 vessel, park up there, waiting for the next part.
Yeah, I went over to Essequibo at a time and I see the vessel park up. I wanted to know what really they're doing. They got the whole boat running to Kaituma. These people, they don't care about a people's life.
To travel 100 and something miles, 20 hours on the water.
20 or something, 24 hours. Sometimes it takes 27 hours to reach me.
We get on the sea and we got in blackout. Like 2 hours.
Blackout.
We on blackout on the boat.
Well, that's
I don't know what to do when the engine come on back. It happened before I know the fire tried frighten the boat. Frighten that boat bad because I know the
the engine got a problem.
The mountain be over your head. It's padlocked in a box. So you can't get no like you pull out it's fast, you know.
Yeah, but the slack from the time you enter a boat, they're supposed to have someone there to hand you.
Before I know the fire tried frighten the boat. Frighten that boat bad because I know the
Greetings, you're on to Delta9 Media Live.
Good morning, my brother. Good morning. Blessing love to your family, brother. Blessing love to your audience. How your morning running so far, my brother?
Great so far, bro. Thanks for asking. How's yours? Everything good on your side?
Yeah, man. I did not have breakfast as yet, man. I'm just tuning into the program, watching some cricket, all kinds of things.
That's good. That's good. Intermediate fasting is good for the health. You could take it till after 12. You know what I mean? Do a brunch lunch.
Yeah. take it, I will take it any hour. My brother, you know, now you listen to all these cries, and I must continue to give my condolence and my heartfelt, deepest condolence to the relatives and friends and family and everyone that, you know, lost loved ones. And I must say, God will give those that are alive the strength and energy and encouragement that they needed and support, you know, to live out this, you know.
Definitely.
I'm heartbreaking. So I wasn't there, and just to see the memories of the survivors, them tell you the memories that they entail.
Yeah. And any person that is swim, or if a little water ever run with your head lean back and you had that burning sensation, you know how horrifying that is. And imagine being in the middle of an ocean in the dark, bro.
Yeah, and then in the cold water and the water just roughing you up.
Yes.
Bro, I learned to swim at the age of 7, bro. Yeah? And we used to play catching artists, buddy, in Demwara River.
Wow.
Yeah? We used to swim over them on the other side, straight over to the other side, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, man, tell you. Yeah,
I got the story with learning for swimming. I almost drowned learning for swimming, you know. I learned for swimming the black water. I learned for swimming. We are playing around. Them times I float in the bottle because me know for swimming. I just know for kick. Them man say stop with the stupidness, cause me and a friend them they want to know for swim, so them man now come and cuff the bottle from under me. So I going down so. Them man watching me and laughing. Them man watching me and killing themselves and say, hey, if I don't know how to swim, it's gone. Don't go by them. They figure it out. They can't find me. I throw a kick. And this when I learn to swim.
You know a lot of youth drunk like that because their friends thinking that they could swim.
No, they helped me to learn to swim, but it was the hard way. You understand, man? I learned
that's right.
Yeah.
A lot of youth die like that because their friends think that they could swim and throw them overboard and see them bubbling up and just laugh.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to come up, you know?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I know how terrifying it must be to be in the dark, right? And that happening to you, and you know, hey, don't matter how much I throw and kick, no shoring that close to me. Because when I throw and kick a couple of times, the black ain't Brad, so I gonna reach to the corner quick, you understand? Throw kick, I reach, I hold on. When I come out this pathway, you understand? Because, hey, y'all know what y'all just nearly to me. But imagine you in the middle of the ocean, and that's why it's so terrifying. And that's the thing that persons can't move away from. Someone and all persons got to be held accountable. That was a part of what's going on right here. You can't just use persons as scapegoat, and we're just looking at these 3 persons. Hey, what about the persons in authority? What about the fact that this ship was so much out of service that it shouldn't even be on the water? It shouldn't even be on the water. People using cement for black hole and them things. It's crazy.
You listen to the captain. 5 points the captain reinforced. I know if you understand when he mentioned 5 things he reinforced, and he wanted people to understand how old this vessel. It don't have a speaker. It don't have a map for if something should happen, to get proper location. It don't the things and what he said when close up for give you a direct Yeah, they don't have EP, they don't have a proper navigated thing. The man is just know where they're going because of wherever they're using. And since 2022, they serviced that boat and they was to do something or work with it, and they did not. And why listen to what he's saying, you know? Since 2022, they said they want to take this boat off of the water.
That's why I'm saying it shouldn't even be in service. It shouldn't even be in service, but guess what?
As what this government is doing, is trying to save their ass about taking every accountability to say, well, yes, this ship was good, this vessel was good. Because look at the minister. The ship wasn't overloaded by cargo, nor by passenger. Get that clear, you hear? I want you guys to and come back in the state to even apologize to Guyanese. Yeah? And say, man, the manifest was wrong, this was wrong, that was wrong. If everything was wrong, how could you verify that the weight is correct?
Exactly.
Remember I told you about 3 lines the boat was carried?
Yeah.
But the boat was definitely underwater because it could not have seen the other line. And once it reached that line, that is its dead line. No boat should travel when it reached that line. Especially in that rock place.
Especially with engine problems, as we was hearing, is some allegations coming from a number of people.
The engine, imagine. Look how bad it's good. The other vessel that passed in that vessel, that man decided to make a video of this vessel. Why? Because the seat was underwater. You realize that?
Yeah. Because it's not something that they would usually see.
Listen on Delta, the other vessel was passing that vessel. They never do video yet for I like that. They know it's Barima. Because remember the radio is up Barima and the radio is shadow. Yeah, Barima is passing. But why did they do a video?
Exactly.
They say God is good.
Yeah.
Because if the people realize that, this is Barima, why Barima is so low? I'll come back later, man. A day listening.
Yeah, man. Big up yourself. Yeah, because it's good for you to analyze it from the point there and say, well, why these man take out the phone just son? It's an unusual sight because them are sailors and all to looking and say, boy, them are so bad, man. Boy, what you going on there? Them are riding real low, not realizing that the tragedy was about to unfold is of historic proportions. Big up yourself, Dion, and thanks for calling in and bringing them insights into the live. As we hear some more that was being highlighted here by persons that travel aboard this vessel before. Because it's important that we stay grounded and understanding this information coming from persons closely related and directly affected.
Yeah, that the engine got a problem.
Over your head, it's padlocked in a box. So you can't get no like that pull out is fast, you know.
But it's slack from the time you enter up.
So that's how the life jacket could have possibly come up back brand new in plastic.
Miles, 20 hours on the water.
20 or sometimes 20. Sometimes it takes 27 hours to reach me.
You get on the sea and the button black out for like 2 hours before the engine come on back. You can black out on the boat.
Well, that's
I don't know what to do when the engine come on back. It happened before I know the fire fighting the boat. Right, that boat bar because I know this.
Yeah, that the engine got a problem.
Over your head, it's padlocked in a box. So you can't get no like that pull out is fast, you know.
Yeah, but it's slack from the time you enter a boat, they're supposed to have someone there to hand you.
And jacket, they never give nobody.
What I'm sorry for. I'm sorry for the crew.
So here we're going now with the life jacket them. Of course, the life jacket them is in a bag. One second. The life jacket them is in a bag over the passengers them head. So how they're gonna find it? How they're gonna get a chance to use it? Of course, it's gonna be brand new in a bag and floating up. Where was the person that was supposed to make sure that persons are wearing the life jacket? We hear these persons were sent home on claims that they were politically appointed. Last I checked, safeties across the board. But we can get into them details. Get up yourself. Are you on Delta9 Media Live?
All right. Now, the life jacket is bullet. I can tell you why. Something locked up to the cupboard, how it's going to float up. It's going to stay locked up. It's a bullet, bro. These people think the talk is, listen, if I lock up something in a cabinet,
it got down. It can stay locked unless the cabinet open. It was locked. But they are saying the life jacket they float up and float away. Nobody else see these life jackets float away, but the man that they send there. And they was in plastic. All them things still on the boat, on the ship, by. Why you think they don't want to bring it up? If they bring it up, they can see all the life jacket locked up above wherever there is. That makes sense. Something that locked up. I put locked up something and it got down. How that alone gets to come out the way locked up? Because you can't get to it. That makes sense. You see me? I just sit down, that's tell people, I do. I don't get people around me on in my face. I just like to put different meds. If you end up on your meds, bro, you're sailing.
Yeah.
And when I sit down listening to these shows, like your show, Fire Show, and them, it's a media I just get for. I just listen cleanly what these people saying, and as they're saying something, my med start calculating.
Yeah, you start sussing them out.
All these things is still on the boat, on the vessel. That's why they don't want to bring it up.
So you're saying they should take the offer.
That was locked away from the people.
So you're saying they should take the offer from Mr. Muhammad to raise the MV Barima?
They're not gonna do that. They don't want the thing. First thing, you bring it up, the life jacket is one of the main things they keep talking about, and the one engine. What do you think they're gonna look for? The life jacket and the one engine.
Yes.
You see? That's the biggest evidence, bro.
A big part of survival if you sink in.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a lot more on this vessel, and these two most important things is like now they're talking about the cement for patching hole. That's 3 now. That's why they come up, but they can't lift the damn boat. Oh, you can't live it. I see things where man got down in muddy water with certain type of light.
Yeah, we got a piece. I got a piece of video where Uncle Eiffel gave some insights yesterday, and I went and do some research. I got some content that I got definitely share, so persons can see that. Listen, and people know already. People know already that it is get these kind of robotics that is go underwater and find these different wreckages and things like that. So how come they can't do it suddenly in Guyana to make sure that there's closure to what's going on? You know?
They die for them that them there. You remember, you know that thing where they'll do sometimes, jump in at the end of the ocean or the pool with your body and come back out. That man gets paid for do that. That man went diving for nothing. That man went diving for nothing, bro.
It's crazy how you think about it. Let me hope there's now what really went down. Let me hope that they actually did some type of excursion.
Bro. Yeah. Like these guys, they is politicians, magicians. And they feeling that we don't know the trick of the magic. We know the trick, we see the trick. You can't hide the ball in one hand and then come like it was in there. No, we just see the ball squeeze up between 2 fingers.
Clearly.
And when you close your hand, you push it in your hand and you open it and tell up the ball up here. Bro, we see the trick. We see the trick. I did listening.
Big up yourself, King. Thanks for calling in. I say seeing through the veil clearly and analyzing what's going on with some. And the details is revealing the fact that, look, there's a lot of gas lighting. And person say, listen, they up and they see clearly what's taking place. You see that there was a protest that was going on just now. I don't know if that protest would have gotten larger, but I'm definitely going to check back. And we're going to bring another part of what's going on the ground right there on this live before we would have completed this presentation. Don't forget that at 11 or between 11 12 o'clock time, that's when the verdict is going to be read from the Caribbean Court of Justice on the extradition trial. We're going to be live again, updating you with that. Greetings, you're on to Delta9 Media Live.
Good morning, Delta. Thank you for answering. First thing, I want to say my condolence goes out to extended to the family and friends and relatives and to all Guyanese people who've been saddened by this tragic MV Barima post.
Yes.
But listening to all of the comments and the way that Guyanese people feel at this point in time, and I've been just trying to put one and one and two together.
Mm-hmm.
But I try to figure out how Guyanese people are very intelligent people and they're very smart. And for so much of speculation for us to understand that if I give you a glass with a crack,
yes,
to tell you set water, and the water we put inside is a bit hot or a bit cold and it's cracked, with the, I mean, yeah, it's a cracked glass. So you got to take responsibility. That's one thing. And the other side, that somebody deliver a cracked glass. So let me simplify it. So in the instance of the boat, we all know that it was a condemned vessel. We all know it's an expired good that was delivered. Now, there wasn't a no set by the captain. I learned that there were some captains that refused, which was a good decision.
A very good decision right now.
It's the responsibility of a driver, a captain, a pilot, to have the last say before he takes that responsibility, because it is in his hand. So, secondly, I've just heard people speculating about the time the boat takes to reach its destination. And within that time, if I am a driver or a pilot or a captain, you have enough time to figure out and to analyze if you're going down, if you're going to make it, or if you can call for help. So in this case, I'm trying to find out within 4 hours, no help wasn't called for, nothing wasn't reported, suspicion will be going down. So I'm trying to figure it out, because for me it looks like suicidal. And that's the only way I can figure it out, because the responsible know, the owners of the boat know, the people who driving the boat know. So how can we consider this, brother?
Well, I'm not all the way convinced that it's a suicidal mission, because that would be me saying that I'm convinced that the captain and the mates went out there to, take their own lives and the lives of the other persons that would have lost their life. And I'm not convinced about that.
Well, I'm saying that it's not like intentionally. What I'm saying is it's like you're taking.
Call you there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm saying it's like you know the situation of this boat.
Yeah.
And then you're overloading it as a man who knows the boat, as somebody who knows the danger of it. So we got to be able to understand that people have to take responsibility. This has nothing to do with pride. And this is happening in everywhere, because look, a road is built, a contract is being passed, money is being passed to build the road, but at the end of the day, the road is built. And who's the goes back to who gets in the blame? Not the person who built the road. They ain't getting no jail. They ain't paying no consequence. It goes back to the person who deliver the contract. So how can we get this fixed? Because things are happening. I don't know how really things functioning there now. Thank you for listening, brother.
Big up yourself. Thanks for calling in and dropping them insights with us right here on Delta9 Media Live. Have a good one, right? Yeah, man. Big up yourself, King. There's going to be many different ways of looking at this thing. Greetings. We're on to Delta9 Media Live.
Absolutely, brother.
Yeah.
I believe that Tyler understand what it is saying, and it's true, because firstly, why you believe all of those 2 men died? Because it was unexpected, bro. It's not something that they expect. That was unexpected act where everyone counted that a big wave come and take the boat.
Yeah, that's why I was pointing out.
Even to save themselves.
That's why I was pointing out. I'm not convinced that it's not it can be suicidal, because they didn't go there, looking to do that and looking for put themselves in that type of situation. It's just that they on an old boat, is an old boat. It kind of bucket to the well over and over again. You know that you gotta get a new bucket, but they said, nah, this bucket could do it one more time, two more time, three more time.
It's like,
Next thing you know,
it's like people are saying, all out, fun, all out.
yeah.
And bro,
Everybody, it's
even tell the
responsibility.
captain and the crewmen say that, hey, we got space for nothing more here.
They can't
Take
make
it
the
in the call
Yeah.
and say, put this on the vessel. It's got to go. It's got to go today. So there's nothing, and one of the men where they went, the other person is not crew member. He is responsible for loading the vessel. He's like a supervisor. Right?
You hear Mr. Patterson was highlighting the persons who got the power to call who is gonna do this and if they're gonna go or not, if the ship is gonna move or not. It's a policy and there's a person that is at the head that is gonna make that call. You understand? And
yeah, because the bigger ones them were there and transport and others.
That has to be
responsible for allowing that vessel to move. And he speak of building the road and if the road broke up or wherever. All the engineers them don't see one thing in Guyana. All of them are part, all the work that's done. And within 3 months, they have to go back and do the same work. So they hold the engineer responsible, no. They hold the contractor responsible for who passed the work. It's the engineer.
Sad reality, bro. And who's feeling squeezed?
Exactly.
Who's feeling squeezed when the problems come? The regular person, the regular citizen.
The regular person, because they can't drive on the road and they can't use the road and the road.
Guess what? I'm gonna point it out again, rising power. Or you just riding, going your way, and you run into a pile of concrete that somebody left on the side of the road because it's time for punch out, and they ain't want to scrape that off. But I mean, get time with them, and they gone on the left door and cost you because guess what? Somebody passed it when it should be a fail because of safety regulation. Right?
But coming back to the crewmen and the captain Delta.
Yeah.
Remember I saying this thing over and over and nobody's reiterating it? I want Edgel and Transport and Harbor bring out a manifest showing that they did training of emergency with the crew member and all the captains on all the vessels them that they use it. That this is a continuous training of emergency training of everything that's in danger towards the sea. When last the did across port, when last the did all the captains them and crew members.
Yeah.
I want to bring out that and show the public that this is an ongoing thing.
Yeah.
Up to now, nobody is saying when last that this thing happened, you know. So why now, because they're here, why didn't check to see if that's at all in the system? Why you put director marijuana? Huh?
Because that's the thing. When people hear them type of conversations now, the mind is gonna go into a different type of zone because they're gonna associate that kind of let's see how I wanna put it. They're gonna associate that kind of consumption with a kind of lifestyle and a personality, right? They're gonna say, oh, they careless, they this, they that. You don't see that they smoking the dope and all kind of. You don't know how they're gonna go. The smoke up the dope and the crash up the people boat and thing. They ain't talking about the fact that, listen, who passed the boat, the fact that the boat was overloaded, the fact that this and that is
exactly.
And everything else that would have led to the situation. But guess what we got to highlight too? The persons that were a part of the crew as well. Sometimes you just gotta look at the situation and do like what them other captains say, and just say, buddy, I can sit this one out because, because sometimes you're making that extra dollar and doing that extra run sometimes. Yeah.
Delta, how the boat reach to the wharf? How the boat reach to Transport and Harbor wharf?
Well, it gotta be the persons in authority at the transport and the department.
No, not that I was getting at. It's that make a trip and reach there.
Good.
No, this is a steady trip.
Yeah.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So they were trying to fix to remember one of the survivors said the crew member that fell his hand and they both come out with one engine.
Yeah.
And we're trying to fix it
Yeah.
to keep him going back with both engines.
Good.
We got to listen to this thing, you know. So it comes here with one engine, travel out with one engine.
Might be the load.
You understand?
The load.
Exactly.
And everything else.
And look at this. All the people, they work so hard. Most of them fell asleep when this tragedy happened. So nobody had time to hand out any life jacket and nothing. Kept people on standby. If the boat was sinking, it was something different. If it was going down, sinking in a natural position, it would have been more people would have been rescued. There would have been more life jacket. There would have more things. But what happened? The boat tilted and never come back on its side, and it went under.
Wow.
There's a difference. You understand, bro?
But these 72 charges where they drop on these crew members right there.
No, that's just to save the Guyana and the rest of people, bro.
Yeah.
And I need people say yes, they're responsible. And they're listening.
Big up yourself. We're analyzing it. We're analyzing what's going on. But guess what? I gotta bring this piece back so we could put it into the record. It's important that we keep it so persons could understand who is the persons with the authority to call the shots.
Policy decision. It has to be the agile and the minister's policy decision, because somebody has to override what's on the paper. If the board is not seaworthy, somebody will have to go to Agile and Indar. Don't forget Indar.
Right, because he did charge the Marat.
Yeah, he charged Marat, but he was also the junior minister in public works as well.
Right.
So up to 2025, and he's now, so they split it now. Somebody would have to go to them and say, listen to me, this boat can't sail.
So you hear who's the persons that was in charge. Yeah, Al, you're live right now with us on Delta9.
Yeah. And I didn't know who was the person in charge.
Angela Lindar, that's the right names of the protest. Everybody know them two names after that protest through from the road straight through Parliament, straight back to the road. Yeah, they definitely yeah.
I understand with the man that called before Dion. He says it's suicidal. It's suicide. Why he saying guy he said it, he tried to explain it.
Yeah.
It's not that went out deliberately to commit suicide, but they know the situation with the vessel and they still take on the job and go. No,
like a suicide mission.
You're right.
Okay.
So it's a suicide mission. You take on, you done this. The first three captains know the boat come with one engine and it's supposed to be fixed to go back. That's when they got to ask them if the boat, if the engine fixed. They said no. But they got to go. They said in Guyana no boat unless the engine fixed. And he know what's happening and he still going to take on the money because you want extra money. Greed is a serious thing, bro.
Or might be can't help. Might be can't help. Let me say this door. Because watch. It might be greed though. It might be can't help. It might be a situation where you really needed that run. Or it might be a situation where if not, you might be reprimanded by those in authority because they ask and you say no. And he couldn't,
But if he wasn't the one to do that shift, he cannot be recommended if he turn it down. The first person that was to go with the vessel that said he's not going unless it's fixed, he was the original person for that shift.
Okay.
You understand me? If your boss call you for cover for somebody and you say you can't do it, he can penalize you for that.
Not openly, but the next time you might want that day off, that time off, or that switch.
I just do cover trip,
Yeah.
cover ship for people
Mm.
in the company I work for.
Mm.
So if I tell them no, and anything I do with them cover ship, I just tell them don't call me, text me because I want document, anything evidence. Everything go through text with me. That's how it moves.
Mm.
So the guy can ask you a million times. If it's not your duty to be there,
Yeah.
they can never penalize you.
Okay.
If you can, especially if it's your choice if you wanna take the job and get the extra or stay home and enjoy your day.
Mm.
The company can never penalize you for that. You see? So he paying for the first man and he not paying the penalty and he is partially to be blamed. That first of all, you know you were hanging out drinking and having fun watching the football. Why take that responsibility?
Remember now, we pointing out the fact and saying that the crew is blameless, right? But we're saying that they're not the only ones that should be at the center of what's going on right there, facing the blame. You understand?
But you know the type of people the PPP is. They gonna fight somebody for throw under the train. They don't throw you under the. Them man, anything get thrown under the bus, you know. We will still keep hearing us.
Yeah, because under the bus you might survive, but under the train, there's like 12 buses in one time. Yeah.
It's how much comes 71?
72. Mad. If you miss them 71, one must stick. You know what I'm telling you? And when you hear how the Attorney General explain it, you say, well, hey, it's crazy how them also saw this whole thing, eh? Well, they could give you the bigger charge and then they could break it down. So why is you there in jail languishing them and breaking? You know, is it for break down 72? If people is just sitting down in there for 10 and 15 years on one, how long did it take for break down 72?
Bro, your lifelong but you careless with it. If you still keep a ton, you're surely gonna lose it.
I tell you.
Them man lifelong, they play with people's life, all of them. But them man is just a partial of the problem. And against them is and what you name? There's another partial of the problem. The problem is you remove them two guys, Higgins and what you name. Bro, the problem would not go away. The problem is like a man calling me, telling me, yo, look, my floor broke up. I want you to retile it, but I want to dig it up, tile over it. Bro, you still have the problem and
you still get a problem. They make no sense.
Yeah, I hear it.
Some persons won't even take that contract and say, hey, go with that boat.
I use them contract, I just turn them.
No, that's good. And then they blame you and the problem.
No, they can call me a couple months and say this and that. No. I tell them, take it. I don't care if I do me doing that. I rather stay home and be broke than go out and get
with frustration. Big up yourself too, man. Just like I don't like stress with the foolishness. I'd rather leave it alone. You know what I mean? Right now we're about to jump to the road though, because guess what? My Paul is out and the protesters are out right now. Let's see what's going on live on the ground in Guyana. Big up to all the travelers live with us in the chat. Thanks for being a part of the live presentation. Everybody that's a part with us on this live right now. Let's hear what the protesters are saying on the ground. "12 Soccer Baby" saying good morning. Big up yourself, 12 Soccer Baby. Thanks for being a part of the live presentation. Velma, thanks for tuning in. Everyone is forgetting that the 3 people in the lockups need counseling. Because they lose a lot of persons that would work closely along with them. That's a team, you know. That's a team. The crew is a team of persons that you know personally, right? They've gone through a lot of traumatic experience and they should be bailed until the investigation is complete. Exactly, Velma. And that's why I was highlighting the fact that they were hit with 72 counts. And we know how persons will be languishing in the lockups for one count. So if you get 72 counts, when you going to see bail? If they were given manslaughter charges, then they would have been possibly put on a high bail and is a bailable offense. But when they give you 72 counts, and one count is a situation that could make you don't get no bail, if you get 72 counts, you'll see no bail no time soon. You probably got to get rid of 50 something of them charges before you even eligible for bail, because they're going to say, all right, they would have gotten rid of all of these amounts. Let's see if we could do something, or it would take so much time for you to get rid of so much that they can consider bail for you now. But let's see how the legal team is going to deal with it. But that's a powerful point that you make right there. Everyone is forgetting that the 3 people in lockup need counseling, right? As they too had gone through that traumatic experience. Very powerful point, Velma. Very powerful point.
A boat is supposed to have someone there to hand you.
And Jackie, they never give nobody.
What I'm sorry for, I'm sorry for the crew, because I had many friends on the boat. You understand?
Throwing the crew under the bus now, you know.
Yeah. I'm sorry for the crew. I'm sorry for the children. These people don't have a heart. People lost so many children.
Instead of open the gun. I see it. Hold it up now. God don't give you more than we can handle. What is your mother?
This is mother.
Yeah, this is mother. Yeah.
I am his aunt.
Morning. Mother-in-law.
Arrest that girl.
Here bullshit going on in this country, mommy. Here bullshit going.
Want to say something?
No, I'll get you. I will get you. Honestly.
Who must go? Who must go? Must go.
Caller on the 240. My apologies for missing your call. If you would still like to give your views, you can feel free to call back. Caller on the 240 number. My apologies for missing your call.
Yeah, yeah, you know that, yeah, yeah.
Going the way, right? Now these people know themselves, right? There is the person who guilty of everything because now you give a man a boat for drive and you in charge of the boat.
100%
You know the years of the
wild-crafted
boat.
sea moss. Only the best, because you deserve nothing less. 8 Butterfly.
Right? You want me to go on it, but you won't go on it. Right? I got to go in the mess. Right? And then at the end of the day, you pressure me. We're innocent. Huh? Oh, the captain, everybody should get the chance to come out and speak to the public. And the people who was on the boat to get rescued supposed to come out and say exactly what happened with the boat. Right? You can't just hold the people and putting them at danger like this. Murder charge. You could murder with a pen. Huh? You write it with a pen, you murder it. Advantage taken too much restraint on poor people in this country. And because poor people are standing up for their rights, they continue driving it. Yeah. It's time we people stand up for your rights.
Well, that's why I will stand for the poor people of this
Stand
country
up for your
That's
rights.
right.
every day.
That's right.
Every day.
People are unfair
Real
and
thing.
unjust. Huh? Because you're poor, you must go through the suffering.
I'm telling you.
And you sit down like I am right here, skinny your teeth. Huh? Come on. We're all human. We have feelings. They got children. They would like something like that to pin on their kids. Huh? Come on, come on. We need justice.
No
we
problem.
need justice.
And that's why we are out here.
Yeah, we need justice. This thing becoming overbearing. We need justice. Right? We need justice. Right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
boy, you want
a court can determine later on whether she's right or wrong. But one cannot say that it is not a reasonable exercise of under any circumstances would be considered the primary responsible parties or the principals in the first degree or the principal offenders. Whether it is 100 persons involved, if the DPP forms the view that the criminal negligence was so high that it warrants the charge of murder, then that is the DPP's right. That is her opinion. A court can determine later on whether she's right or wrong. But one cannot say that it is not a reasonable exercise of that power. Not in this circumstance. But let me go back to who the usual suspect. Who are questioning him? And this is historical. When you had the police force going after criminals and known criminals and suspected criminals, who stood on the side of the criminals historically? The PNC always.
Any one of your children, any one of your father, any one of your mother, any one of your close relative. It's a national issue. That's the first point I want to make. The second point I want to make to all of you here, the government is clearly attempting to scapegoat Guyanese. They're attempting to scapegoat us as Guyanese. And we have to be cognizant of that fact. Then Amstel, we have to congratulate you for coming out and standing up for your own, for standing up for someone that you know, for standing up for a calm individual that I happen to know personally too. Now, let's get some facts out there. Let's get some facts out there. You must understand why it is the responsibility of Transport and Harbors Department, and more so that nasty bishop, as far as I'm concerned, Bishop Edgell. In 2022, I'm going to tell you certain things here. I'm going to tell you certain things here. I want you to absorb it and spread it and share it, because Edgell is responsible. Can't run from that. In 2022, hear me out, a contract was awarded to build a stelling and wharf at Port Kaituma. In 2022, that award was made. The contractor began to build the stelling in keeping with the design that he got from the consultant. The design was so faulty that the construction failed. Semco did the design and it failed. A new consultant had to come into play and assist to get it right. The contractor then continued the project and he concluded the construction of that stelling and wharf in 2024. 2023, the MV militia came from India, and the MV militia was expected to sail from Port Georgetown to Port Kaituma.
Mr. Chairman, the new
from
vessel that is
2024
to come
to
on
now
stream would be the MV Militia, which is en route to Guyana. It has left Port Calcutta and it's coming to Guyana. That boat will service the Georgetown Region 1 route, making stops at Mabaruma, Marijuana, Port Kaituma. And that will replace the MV Barima and the MV Kimbia that presently traverse those routes.
Complain to Transport and Harbors Department. They are threatened with either being removed from their jobs or they are going to be transferred. A question I expected the media to ask Mark Phillips: what is the experience in terms of years of that boat captain and crew? And you would find that they are more qualified in terms of years of experience, captains that are working on vessels that go a shorter distance. It's like a systemic failure that the ministry had, that Edgell had no intention of fixing. Let me give you a little history. When Robeson Ben, y'all remember Brockup Ben? When Brockup Ben was Minister of Public Works, now he's no friend of mine, but when Brockup Ben was Minister of Public Works, Brockup Ben used to go at the same goods wharf. He used to stand up there. Brockup Ben used to do spot checks to ensure that the boat is loaded properly. Brockup Ben used to make it a duty to do that. The change in 2015, APNU came into power. We had David Patterson. David Patterson employed people to be checkers. Another layer. So when transport done pack up this boat, David Patterson had somebody else who used to go on the boat, make sure you got ticket, you got ticket, you got ticket, the load is all right and everything before it set sail. When Agile came to power, he fired them people. He said they had political appointees. Fire them. Ask Transport and Harbors, when you see Delon, ask him, or ask anybody else who works there, how many times did Agile step foot at the goods wharf to see that boat loaded? How many times did he step foot to see the boat loaded? Beyond that, there are reports from several survivors that the Ministry of Public Works had a lot of load on the boat. The Ministry of Public Works had a lot of load on the boat. I spoke to the wife of the canteen operator. The lady said, Mr. Maipal, if you see weight on the boat, she said, if you see people on the boat, they are telling us 270 something. They're saying 103 or more they can't, that they assume dead. We believe it's more. We believe it's more. And they should salvage the boat, bring it up. Yes. Bring up the boat because there are going to be credible evidence. There are going to be credible evidence and there are lots of people that are still in that boat. Agile is wicked. Agile is wicked because he sits there with a straight face. Chose to attend the Parliament, the National Assembly 2 days ago and sat there like nothing is wrong. Across this entire world, ministers that found themselves in similar ordeal resigned their offices. As recent as the other day, papers, education papers, academic paper, like what you write tests with, were leaked in India, and the India education minister resigned. There is always the conscionable action of ministers taking responsibility. Agile would have want to come to them himself for cut ribbon like if he build the road. But he ain't want to take responsibility for the boat that sank. If you are good to cut ribbon and you want we clap for you, you are bad to make that boat sink and we have to chase you out. That is the message we have to send to him. And there are several other issues. They hold on to Delon so wrongfully. I'm told the place didn't even have a scale. Yep. I'm told that there was no scale there. I'm told that the manifest is fictitious. I'm told there's several discrepancies. And you gonna still got Bishop, fish up, mess up Agile. Sit down there. The fact that Irfan still have him there, he and all should go. Yes. Because he's tolerating it. And they're telling us, listen, they're saying don't politicize this matter. Nobody's politicizing it. The first set of people to politicize this matter was the PPP. Because when they assembled at Guyana, they refused to acknowledge and appreciate the opposition representatives that the people were calling for, that the people wanted to speak to, that the people want to hear. Then they lock up Sheriff Duncan in Charity. That again was politicizing the matter. Then they want to refuse us to speak to the survivors and the family of the deceased. That is again politicizing it. What qualifies them to be there that we can't be there too? They want to silence the people. They want to silence the people. And I am going to tell you that I'm still, hold strong. Hold strong. In this country, we have to fight twice as hard to get half of what they have, you know. And we got to hold strong. We got to hold strong. Don't give up this fight. I am trusting that the entire Guyana will see the need to come out and send a message. We'll see the need to come out and put aside political partisanship. We'll see the need for us to get what we, the people, deserve. And I call on you again. Hold strong. Hold strong. After this battle, victory got to come our way. Let's hold strong, and Agile must go. Agile must go. Agile must go.
Give the chance to Agile. Give the chance to Agile. Because they have the purse with the money.
They gotta be responsible.
Yes, they have the purse with the money to have the boat in a proper order so that it can go. And if a boat cannot work with one engine, it must be like this. It cannot work with one engine. And the fisherman said they have some tracking thing on the fishing boat to say they must go with this. Why didn't they put one on that old lady on Barima? Why didn't they put one on that old lady, 87 years old? She's supposed to be at the dock. For that bird to defecate on her and snake to live in. Now they are counting my cousin and the others. It is not fair. Agile is a satanic person. Agile is a satanic person. He's a satanic person. He is wicked, man. Agile is a wicked man.
Why you know? The Mr. in front of Parliament, we done it because they're taking lock up a scun. Because they're taking lock up a scun. If they want guns, raise guns and the prison, this country can't end up. When find man and skinny used to kill out people. This is what I'm leading this country to. They gotta stop.
I'm telling you, it is not going to be business as usual. They could pass what they want pass. They pass the Guyana Development Bank. They pass the supplementary paper. They pass several bills. We don't care right now. It can't be business as usual. You can't got 100 and something people dead. You can't got innocent, ordinary, hard-working, poor people locked up, charged for more than 72 counts, and you got the minister, that scam, sitting down there not holding responsibility. It's not right, it's not right, it's not right. And if we sit down and tolerate this kind of nonsense, if tomorrow we wake up and it's one of you or one of me or one of we family, we're going to look for it. We're going to look for it. That's why I'm telling you, rise up for what it is worth. Rise up for what I'm not telling you to be destructive.
Peaceful.
I'm not telling you to be destructive.
Be peaceful. All I could be peaceful.
Have regards to the police and their guidance.
All I could be peaceful.
The police are subject to political interference too. They take political instructions. But we have to be peaceful in our demonstration to send our message. We don't damage what belongs to we. We will not participate in damaging any property that belongs to us, our neighbors, or our friends. We are going to peacefully sound our voices and continue the struggle for what it is worth, and that is to get justice where it is deserved.
You want a chance tomorrow. You want a chance tomorrow. That's what you want. That's what you chance tomorrow.
All right, residents. The family and friends of Delon and the captain and the mate, I want you to know that I am standing in full solidarity and support to the end for all the families of the deceased, the survivors. We won't allow this wicked and deceitful and cruel administration to feel that they can take advantage of the poor people. It's too long they're taking advantage of the poor people in this country, and that is why I decided to contest in the elections. And today, with the blessings and the support of you, we are the main opposition, and we will continue to hold this government accountable. If we got to go to the CCJ to get justice for your family, I will support you with that. We all will support you with that. Because we know we can't even get justice within our judiciary in Guyana. We cannot even get justice within our judiciary. Just recently, you saw the president appointing a lot of judges. I'm sitting back, we watching on carefully with all these appointments. Most of these appointments with these judges are their own, that are close to the party. And we have three arms of government: the executive, the judiciary, and the legislature. But it looks like they want to control all the arms of government. And we cannot sit back and allow this. Same thing they did with me. So that's how I know how wicked these people are. So that's why I'm here to stand up for you, to stand up for Delon, the captain, the mate. Because of murder charge. How can you institute a murder charge? Were they saying, oh, we're going to kill all these people on board? They had no intention of doing this. So how a murder charge came up? Tell me how. How a murder charge came up. Very soon, I will be announcing peaceful protests in all 10 of the regions. I just want you to sit back and listen. We will be announcing peaceful protests in all 10 of the regions. Because it's too long we are sitting back and take things. If we don't stand up now, trust me, things will only get worse. We all know that these men, they give them a basket to fetch water. They gave the crew a basket to fetch water, while they have the fancy vessel to go on the parties. They have the fancy vessels to go on the boat cruise and the parties. But how much longer should we sit back? How much longer should we sit back? Who next? The public servants. A lot of public servants messaged me last night that they're worried because they're claiming that this can happen to them. They don't know when this can happen to them at any time. All of the public servants should be worried about this. Because if they throw three of them under the bus, who's next? These men turn up to work. They reported for work. They're working for a pittance, a very small salary. Very small salary. They got to take instructions. Delon got to take instructions from the wicked bishop. Oh, you got to ensure that cargo go. And if the cargo doesn't go, it's part of the appointment for the COI.
Yes.
We must be part.
And for the terms of references. The terms of reference.
We want to ensure that that vessel out there, we want to salvage the vessel so that the nation can see it's not the crew's fault. Only one engine was working. Only one engine was working, despite trillions of dollars budgeted. For the past 6 years, $6 trillion total. Then they come to the parliament the other day for $55 billion more. I hope you are paying attention with all the corruption. I hope you're paying attention. But I want you to know that we can't come out just for one morning and then get tired. We got to be on it every day like me. If you don't be on it every day, you're never going to get justice. Exactly. Who must go? We want Ejel and Indar to be arrested. They must be arrested. So my brothers and sisters of Denamstel, of the entire country, wherever you are, rest assured that you have my support. You have my support to the end. We will fight this to the end. They must go. They must go. Yesterday, we had survivors and families of the deceased waiting for 5 hours on the Maharaja, Irfan Ali. 5 hours they were sitting waiting on that man. He told them 10 o'clock he will be there. 5 hours they had to wait until he turned up. So tell me, he don't have a heart for the people of this country. But as I have said, I'm calling all the attorneys We need all the attorneys to come out and support all three of these families. We need all the attorneys to come out to support these three families.
Is Darren Jordan with us here?
No.
Ask yourself. No, it's not about shame. Ask yourself. He is the PPP representative in here. And Delon is his family too. Yes. Delon is, take note, then I'm still take note. Take note, then I'm still take note. Regardless of which political affiliation you have, you must stand.
Because agent no, agent have to go. Because agent no, agent have to go.
Agent have to go. Because agent no, agent have to go. Because agent no, agent have to go.
Agent have to go. Because agent no, 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 agent have to go.
Let me go walk.
For the temperature.
So we're going to do a walk and a chant. We are going to do a walk and a chant. We're going to line ourselves up. We will walk to that green bus. Just turn around, come back to the black people, and go around. We got to do a chant now, okay?
Yes.
Stand up in one line, one straight line. We are going to do it very orderly. Stand up in a straight line. Stand up in a straight line. One straight line, right?
Make sure this one there for the right, yeah? Definitely. Make sure this, yeah. Make sure this is the DPP is definitely a PPP. Why charge them for murder? Why charge them for murder? Come on. They can't charge them for murder.
Agent got to go. Because agent no, agent got to go.
Yes.
That's fine.
Yes.
All the best for you today.
Yes, no problem. Yes. Morning.
Nice to meet you. See you. I hear about you. Nice to meet you.
Yes.
Good morning.
Morning. Jail the criminal, free the innocent. Yes. That's it, Granny.
No problem. Looking at all your show all the time.
Thank you.
And nice to meet you this morning. And I love the work you are doing.
But I'm here for you, don't worry.
Agent got to go.
Who must go?
Agile must go.
Because that you know.
Agile and Indar.
Because if you know, must go.
Give me this one. This is right. Yes. This is the most important one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let me see if we catch it live.
Yeah.
Oh, the DPP is
Yeah. Indar. Indar.
Who must go?
Indar.
Who must go?
Indar. This is the most important one. How can she institute charges, murder charges for these innocent men? Indar.
Since I will know. Since I will know.
Mohammed got a slave. Mohammed got a slave.
More.
Who must go?
So what do you think about the murder charge? What do you think about the murder charge?
Oh, no. They gotta go. They got to completely wash out.
But how can you institute murder charges and it wasn't intentional? It was not intentional.
You know how I travel on the boat. That boat is what, 70-something years old? My God. And you will... why you do that? Why? Come on, man.
Yeah.
And then the two people, the two crooks and criminals, they're keeping themselves out of it.
Exactly.
No.
PPP is the PPP. That's supposed to be neutral. She's a PPP. The PPP is a PPP. The PPP is a PPP. The DPP 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 is a PPP. She was never neutral. She was supposed to be neutral. She was never be a one in that chair.
I remember when they had 19 charges. Yes. And then you all see how it dropped.
Yes.
And now she's a change dependent.
Yes.
But the thing is,
to the PPP.
no, but the thing is, she was the one that charged him on the Granger.
Yeah. But you're wicked.
But
You're wicked.
they're always loyal to the master.
Yes, they're leaning on one side.
They must be just.
She's leaning on one side.
They must be just.
Yeah. Wicked. Who fool the nation? Who lie to the nation? Who lie to the nation? Bishop. Satan Bishop.
So when is the next court case? Monday?
Monday. Yeah.
Charity. So Monday is the next court case for the 3 crewmen. Charity Magistrates Court. We have, I saw the APA, they got a peaceful protest 11 o'clock. The APA, the Amerindian People Association, they have a peaceful protest today at 11. What time is it? Yes. No, we won't accept murder charges. A murder charge has been something is intentional. Right?
Mr. Mohammed,
yeah.
one question like that. All I'm asking of you, don't get violent, don't get destructive. If you do that, then you are going to defeat the purpose. And then you're going to allow them to say you are hooligans. You're going to allow them to call you all sorts of derogatory names. Let's remain peaceful. Let's do it in a peaceful way, and let's get our objective. Let's achieve what we set out to achieve, and that is to sound our voices and let our voices be heard. We are not interested in anything that is destructive. All right? The road belongs to us. The buildings belong to us. Everything belongs to the people. So we are not going to get destructive. We're going to remain peaceful, and we're going to achieve our objectives. Okay? Thank you.
We will get justice, trust me.
Yeah, what I was saying. I heard the Prime
We will get
Minister
justice.
that this moment just making noise. What do you mean about that?
Said the nation making noise.
Oh, the whole nation making noise.
Yeah.
But I already said, Mom, they're making noise.
Oh, yeah, we know that.
So I want to know exactly what is the meaning of that.
They want me to sit back. I gotta ensure I represent the people as the opposition leader. I cannot sit back and allow them to trample on the rights of the poor people in this country.
It's simple, right? If Ejel can't leave, we need a new election. It's simple. If Ejel can't go, we need a new election. So they got choice. Ejel have to go, plus we still want them there. So we still gotta get a new election. Can't keep victimizing black people, I put it straight up. It's innocent people in locking up.
And the 1st of August is Emancipation Day. The 1st of August is Emancipation Day.
I know they can't put nobody on the close arrest for Adrian Mordo. I know. But they locked up people. They went on the boat. Is them on the boat? So these people, these 3 guys carry the boat and say we go sink it. These people are private owners for this boat. These people are among the people that own this boat that charge this contribution. That is not government owned. The government to jail them.
Justice.
Criminalize. That's unfair. That's unfair. We know a lot. If we don't know a lot, justice. We know a lot. We know a great lot. Them fool, them judge fool, why we laugh? Quiet. Because we know the kind of corruption in taxation and everything to create. Because everybody started to lock up. So your family will start getting
So when they talk about bombs, it's a violation. They don't violate you already. Understand?
Yeah, must get some sentiment.
Yeah. And then the jail you are.
Morning.
Yeah, let's make it striking for the government work in this country.
We really support him. Guys, when they support, them is the people that support. And come back and jail them. Nah, man. They are saying that these people are private entities. These three people are the private entities for this board.
When the boat can't get pulled up, they don't get evidence for the boat, they may want it pulled up. They may want it pulled up. You bring divers. What's like 200 feet down in Paris? And 50 feet in Guyana, they can't go. They think people done. They think people done. They really think people done.
I didn't see the crime.
No, but I would like to know how the DPP chambers can institute more the charges. It wasn't intentional. How can you institute more the charges?
And murder has to be committed based on intent.
Intent. No, but I'm really worried about the judiciary. Really worried about the judiciary.
Sandrine. Yes, Sandrine.
People can just have their family being executed and nothing comes out of it. Who we representing? Who representing us?
You're asking how long we want that.
Take things in your own hand.
So what time? Oh, you actually went again? Oh. Yeah, what?
All right, so I am guided.
I don't know. You got my vote. I don't know how you're gonna get it, but you got my vote. And if I'm here, you got it. If I could send it from abroad, I will.
And you are going to be guided further by your local leaders. So perhaps what you can do collectively.
Thank you. Excuse me.
Well, listen to your local leaders at least, and let your local leaders guide you. Let your local leaders guide you, and I'm sure you'll be told as to how we are going to continue with this action and this momentum. And I trust that other villages, other communities will see the importance and join in their respective communities. Right? Thank you very much. I know people got work to go to. I know people got a kitchen to look after. There are things that people have to do. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. I know when again we are going to meet, and I'm going to come again. I know that there are others that are going to join you also. And trusting the leader of the opposition will also be present as much as they can. But we got to take it across all the other regions.
Collectively.
Collectively. Thank you.
So take care, my brothers and sisters. Everything will be okay. At the end of the tunnel, there is light.
One love, Delta9 travelers. We get a chance to see exactly what was going on the ground. That's the first part of the protest. More than likely, in a couple of minutes, we're going to hear the readings coming in from the CCJ as well. So be on the lookout when we will be live again, giving you these updates. Or guess what? We will definitely be live at 6:30 this evening. But if there's other events that come about, given that all of this is going on the ground, we will make sure that we come and do another live presentation. Other than that, we'll be doing pre-recorded videos, shorts, and other very important updates. We'll put them up in clips and postings on the community tab as well. Now we're analyzing what was going on with the poll, right? And so far, 88% are the MV Barima crew members being used as political scapegoats. 88% is saying yes, 12% is saying no. That's what the poll is saying for this live. What are your views, Delta9 travelers? You could still drop it into the comment section. But guess what? For now, the flight would have landed right here with Delta9 Media. I'm guessing this was a longer flight than usual. We had to extend it because we had to make sure that we highlight what the brothers and sisters were highlighting right there on the ground, so that persons around the world would get a chance to see that persons are standing up to what's going on. Persons are coming out. People from the very community are coming out and saying, listen, we are standing in solidarity with the persons that are a part of the crew that they have. And there was comments that came up that I definitely want to highlight if I could find where persons are saying, you know, what's going on with the crew members as well, what's going on with them as it relates to therapy, because let's not forget that they would have lost most of their crew in this tragedy. Plus, to go through a situation like that as well is very, very traumatic. Look, there's a lot. Plus, there's 72 charges, and we had a chance to hear from the defense as well from the Attorney General. Yeah, think about the presentation. Drop it in the comment section. And if you'd like to connect with us on our other channels, I'll put that up so that you can get a chance to scan the barcode and subscribe to Delta9 Media No Filter. We're going for 1,000 subs on this channel. When we get 1,000 subs on Delta9 Media No Filter, is a whole different type of live presentations. Not like the ones we do over here, something different. So join the team early on Delta9 Media No Filter and let's get the ball rolling over there. We got another channel as well, Gnosis Focus, for persons who are into study, persons who are into the esoterics, into the research. Definitely. Let me put this up on the screen. You know, as I always share the scholarship. Now, this barcode will take you to information on the topic above. A whole lot of information, but not just information. It's going to take you to a notebook learning module, which is an AI AI learning module, which is going to help you to use different types of graphs, videos, audios, all kind of different things to understand everything about astrology, everything about the straw man, everything about the occult, everything about Gnosticism, numerology, and we have so many other folders, notebook learning modules with a whole lot of content and a whole lot of esoterics. So join us on Gnosis Focus, where we get into the studies right over there, right? Big up to all the travelers that was live with us, all the moderators, everybody still in the chat. Thanks for tuning in and for making this live presentation what it is, right? All the persons that drop insightful commentary every time. Big up yourself. PA, all the moderators, Nav Joe, what's going on, King? Thanks for being a part of the live. PPP themselves are the board of inquiry. I telling you, people seeing through the veil and analyzing what's going on. Big up to everyone that's in the live right now. So many travelers with us. We had a full flight today. A little longer flight, but needs be because you could see there's so many headlines. And then there's so much things that I still didn't get to share. We still got to get into the research that I was doing, showcasing some of the deep dive salvage And we wondering how come that kind of team wasn't called in right away to make sure that this deep dive salvage was a success. We can get into all of them things, you know. I'm going to do another live presentation later on today. Big up to all the travelers. One love again. And I'll catch you in the next one.
8 Butterfly Sea Moss Powder. Take your daily routine to the next level. Natural vegan superfood powder. Essential multivitamin powder made just for you.